What is up, you guys? In today's video, I'm going to walk you through how to manage your finances inside of your woodworking business. Let's dive in. All right, welcome back to the channel. As always, I'm your host, Zach Vaught, and I'm so glad that you're choosing to spend some time with me. In today's video, I want to walk you through how to effectively manage your finances inside of your woodworking or your custom furniture business, right? One of the biggest challenges all of us face, to be fair, in business is always managing the money. How do I make sure that I always have enough in the bank account? I'm timing it so that money is coming in, so that I can pay bills, I can pay vendors, I can pay employees, right? Cash flow management is one of the biggest challenges that we all face, right? One thing that I want to just start off and preface is that cash flow management, successful cash flow management, is more about discipline than it is even strategy, right? You need some strategy, but a lot of times you need the discipline to do what you know you're supposed to do, even when it's hard to do it. But here's the first step to effectively managing your finances, right? Number one is you need to set an oh crap number. So you may say, what is an oh crap number? Well, an oh crap number is a number that when you look at your bank account and you see that number or less, you say, oh crap. If you say, oh crap, and you have an oh crap number, that is a signal to you to stop spending money, buying things that you don't need to, stop taking trips, start eating ramen noodles, and figure out how to fix the cash flow situation. So a lot of guys struggle because they don't set an oh crap number, and what happens is that they drain their account, they run up a bunch of credit card debt, and they find themselves in a compromised financial position. So, okay, Zach, what should my oh crap number be? Well, it's different based on the size of your business, right? When your business is bigger, you need to have a bigger oh crap number because you can fly through that capital pretty fast. Right? If you're smaller, your oh crap number can be smaller. What I typically recommend is your oh crap number should be somewhere between 30 to 40% of your average monthly revenue. So like if you're doing $10,000 a month, your oh crap number should be, I don't want to ever have less than like 3 to 4 grand in the bank account. If I see less than 3 or 4 grand, then I know that we're in a bad spot. You want to just try to keep it somewhere between 30 to 40% of what your average monthly revenue is, okay? And that'll protect you and keep you from draining your account down to zero. Now, the other thing that I just want to encourage you with, you always have to have cash to pay rent and to pay employees. Everything else you can put on cards if you absolutely have to. Just make sure that you always have cash for the things you have to have cash for. You have to have cash to pay employees, you have to have cash typically to pay rent. And so just be mindful of that as you are setting your oh crap number, okay? Number two, you wanna make sure that you have an operating account and a sales tax account. You don't wanna have all of your business expenses running through your personal accounts. If you have not set aside a separate account for all business transactions, you need to make sure that you're doing that. If you just have your personal accounts that you and your family live off of and you're running your business through that account, you need to stop doing that. You need to go open another account, preferably a business account. You have to have an EIN number to do that. But if you don't have an EIN number, you at least need to go open a separate personal account that is just business only. But one of the biggest things that helped me dramatically manage cash flow was when we opened an operating account, which is where all materials are paid for, all payroll is paid out of, marketing and advertising is paid out of, but then to also open a sales tax account. So a sales tax account is just basically a holding account so that when I take an order, I immediately calculate what the sales tax is on that order and I move that money into the sales tax account. Okay, one of the biggest things that always would sneak up on me and bite me every month was I would think I had all this cash, but then it was time to pay sales tax and I would realize, oh, we had a $50,000 a month. Well, I got to pay $3,800 in sales tax. And I wasn't moving that money over as I was supposed to be, and it always threw me off because I thought I had a lot more money in the operating account than I was actually supposed to, right? And so you wanna make sure that you have an operating account and a sales tax account, and you have the discipline to move the sales tax money into the sales tax account as you get orders, okay? Number three is that you wanna work new tool costs into your pricing structure with clients, okay? So let's say, for example, you take on a big job, but it was gonna require you to buy a really expensive tool. Well, I wanna work 80% of that or 70% of that tool cost into that big job. Let's say that you're a table maker, but you want to start making barn doors and you need special tools or equipment to do that. Well, what you want to do is say, these new tools are going to cost me $5,000. I want to work this tool cost into my first 10 orders that I'm going to get, right? So maybe I go pay for the tools with a credit card, but I want to recoup that in my pricing structure for the next 10 clients, right? So I would take the $5,000 divided by 10 clients. So I would have a $500 additional upcharge per client for the next 10 clients. This is just a sweeping example for easy math, but you understand what I'm saying, right? We want to work tool costs into our pricing model. I don't necessarily want to try to put it all on one client because you're not going to get the job. Your stuff's going to be so expensive that they're going to be like, no, I'm just going to go pay somebody that already has the tools, right? But we want to work new tool costs into pricing. And now if you get like a big commercial job or something that's a 10 or 15, 20, $30,000 order, it's a little easier to work most of the tool costs into that single order. Ideally, you'd want to spread it across multiple orders, okay? So that's number 3. Number 4, I'm going to say this, but I'm going to say it with a disclaimer. You have to be smart here. Number 4 is you want to learn how to leverage 0% interest, credit cards, and terms with your vendors. One of the best assets that I ever had when I was starting my business was going and signing up for 0% interest credit cards. And so you can get 0% interest for 12 months or 0% interest for 18 months. The fact that I can buy things in advance, like materials or marketing, with no interest and then come back and pay that off, it just gives me more operating capital to work with, right? So let's say that you at any point in time only have $5,000 in your bank account, but if you do this thing or you run this marketing campaign or you invest in this mentorship or program or whatever it might be, you have a really good inclination that you're going to take your $5,000 a month business to $20,000 a month. Well, if you have a 0% interest credit card, you can do that. It's a little risky, but let me just say this. You're never going to get where you want to go without taking some risks. So a lot of you guys are like, I would never do that. Well, it's because you don't take calculated risks, and you're probably in the same financial situation today that you've been in for the last 5 years or the last 10 years, right? One of the biggest things that I can unlock in your mind is that you have to take calculated risks if you want to grow. No one has ever grown anything great without risking something along the way. Okay, so you got to make sure, number one, if you are leveraging 0% credit cards, you're doing it very intelligently. If I have a $15,000 limit on a 0% credit card, I don't want to go put $15,000 on it buying random things, but I want to make calculated risks. I want to make small calculated risks along the way. And then the second part of this is that you want to negotiate and set up terms with vendors. One of the most powerful things that you can do with vendors is set up net 30 terms, where I don't actually pay for the materials that I get from the vendor. When I get the materials, I pay them 30 days after I receive the material. All right, so for example, you could order a bunch of lumber on net 30 terms. Let's say you order $1,000 worth of lumber. Well, you could build $8,000 worth of furniture with that $1,000 worth of lumber and then pay that $1,000 30 days later after you've collected the $8,000 in cash. So these little strategic plays allow you to delay payments and maximize your cash flow, okay? That's number 4. Number 5, now this one is a matter of discipline, but it's huge, is to order materials for your orders as soon as you get your deposits, okay? So as soon as somebody places an order with you, use that deposit to order the materials. And you might be like, well, if I use that to get the materials, I'm not gonna have hardly any profit left over. You're exactly right. Not from the deposit, you're not. And that's a good thing, because of what it's gonna do is it's gonna force your hand to get through production faster, because all of your actual profit is gonna be on the back end of collecting the second half deposit, which leads me to number 6. And again, this is a matter of discipline, and that is never take pay in fulls up front. You might be like, well, Zach, this is really dumb. Why would I not want to take a pay in full up front? Because let me tell you exactly what happens. Taking a pay in full up front is one of the most satisfying feelings in the world. Like, let's say somebody ordered a $6,000 dining table set from you. Getting $6,000, boom, all at once, it feels incredible. But then you have to build it, and there's no reward on the back end of all this work that you have to do. And it sounds so funny, but it feels as though you're building it for free. You're not building it for free, you've already been paid, but there's no emotional payoff to getting the work done and getting the work done in a timely fashion. What happens when we take pay in fulls up front is that our production and our efficiency always suffers in some regard because of that. So one of the most disciplined things you can do to manage your cash flow efficiently, refuse to take pay in fulls. We should always take 50% deposits and then 50% second half payments. It keeps us in a more compromised cash flow spot. I know this sounds funny, to where I don't look at my account and feel like I have all these inflated numbers, but it keeps me hungry. And it keeps me motivated to get through production, get stuff out the door so that I can collect second half payments, which is where all of your actual profitability lies, okay? Because when you take a 50% deposit, for example, you're gonna be paying for materials, labor, and marketing, basically out of all that. Just count it as a wash, you didn't make any money. But when you get to your second half payments, that 50%, let's say you wrote a $4,000 order, you deliver a $4,000 order, that's $2,000 that you get right there, all of it can basically go in your pocket. So have the discipline to never take pay in fulls. I can promise you right now, if you're watching this and you're struggling managing your finances, managing your cash flow, number one, if you're not getting any sales, you need to fix that. Like if you're not getting any sales, you need to join the Woodworking Business Accelerator program. We need to start running ads for you. We need to maximize your organic marketing strategies and start getting you $10,000, $15,000, $20,000 a month, which is what we do with clients over and over and over and over and over. So that's the number one thing. You got to get sales. But then from there, if you're struggling managing the cash flow, cash flowing in, cash flowing out, if you'll apply these 6 principles that we went over in this video today, it will completely revolutionize your business. So with that being said, hopefully this was helpful to you. Let me know what your cash flow struggles have been in the comments below. Would love to connect with you. And if you haven't yet subscribed and you're trying to learn business principles that's going to help you with your woodworking or your custom furniture business, this is the channel, my friend. So a couple resources I've got for you before we leave. My free ebook, the Handmade Business Secrets ebook. It's the first link in the description below. Enter your name, your email. We're gonna send that over to you. It's really just my story and how I implemented business principles and grew my woodworking business to over $70,000 per month. Second is the Handmade Hero Academy program. If you're a newbie, you're trying to learn some business principles and you're really trying to get to $5,000 to $10,000 per month, this is the single greatest resource I can point you to. If you sell one thing, it'll pay for itself. And then lastly is the Woodworking Business Accelerator program. If you are really serious, if you're ready to go to the next level, if you're ready to invest in your business and take your personal finances in your business to the next level, be sure to check that out. And we literally hold your hand as we bring you more leads, teach you to sell, close deals, improve productivity, implement systems, and you get to be a part of an incredible community of makers that I'm super, super proud of. Love the guys that we've got inside of the program. So with that being said, love and appreciate you as always, and I'll talk to you soon.